Oh, there we go. There's the audio. What's up, guys and gals? So, this is, what is this? May 13th, 2024. So today, I'm just going to be talking about bracket orders. And thank you for everybody who's joined, who's subscribed, who's liked. Comments? We're not getting as many comments, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't expect as many comments on with this type of information or material. Nevertheless, we'll hopefully soon enough we'll be getting into being able to take trades, profitable trades, and then we can go and everybody's excited about making money. But in the meantime, while we're in the learning process and we're in the knowledge, we're in the gathering process, it's not exciting. It's not as exciting. It's exciting for me, but I'm unique like that. So let's get into. So we're going to open the coding environment, the development environment. One of the things I will just kind of go over real quickly for any of the new folks out there. I know we have a new subscriber, and they were just asking about some basic references and that kind of thing for OOEL, so object-oriented easy language. There's that, but that's not really even like beginning programming. That's still like in an advanced phase, if you will, or stage. The basic stuff, really comes into just doing show me's and just being able to make your way through the platform, through the workspace. So the workspace is here. Is the TradeStation development environment. I think if you go to your apps here, you can go to easy language here. And then once you click that, it'll bring you to your TradeStation development environment. I have it set up as a hotkey. That's the only way to do it. And then so you go here to file, and you can open up previous stuff that you had. You can go to new, and you can select from the various possibilities of the different types of programs that you want to run. And each program is useful in different settings, right? So your indicators you can use on your charts, and I think your indicators you can use on your radar screen as well, but you have to select where you want to use that. Mostly what I do, I just use on the chart. I don't really mess with the radar screen because I'm only focused on like ES and Q, primarily ES, so I'm not really applying what I've got to the radar screen to apply to other stocks and for options and everything like that. So I'm primarily focused on futures. So if you want to go to new, you can click activity bar, which doesn't have a lot of options. You can do a function, create functions. That's very useful, so that you don't have to keep typing stuff over and over and over. Indicator just going to show up on your chart. Typically, it's going to be in one of the subgraphs, so one of the graphs below. Like over here, this is a subgraph, graph below the normal chart. And then paint bar will paint your bars different colors based on whatever criteria you want to set up. And then probability map, I don't use that. Show me, we just put like dots and symbols above and below your chart, your bars, or on the screen, wherever. The strategies, of course, strategies is what you're going to turn your it's like turning your indicators, turning your conditions, turning your entire thought process, your algorithm into something that you can automate. And you don't have to, one thing that I didn't realize is that, and that's a big part of what I've learned here just recently, is that I thought you pretty much had to use a strategy in order to automate, right? You don't have to use a strategy to automate, but it's a place where it's expected, right? It's like when you have a motorcycle. They expect you to ride fast. Strategy is expected that you're going to, automate it and have it process trades. But you can use an indicator. You can use an indicator, and you can create order tickets from within your indicator, and you can use that to place trades. So that's something that I learned here in the last couple weeks or so. Tom is a guy who is, I call him like a senior programmer. He's been programming for years. He's on TradeStation forums and he answers a lot of questions, that kind of thing. Pretty nice guy. And he only uses his order tickets within his indicators to place trades. I was confused when he was saying that he actually automates his trades, but he doesn't use strategies. He uses order tickets. And I'm like, well, you're making orders from your strategy. So I was completely confused, and so yeah, I eventually understood that he's using the indicator to put out his order tickets. So we're going to kind of look at that today a little bit with the bracket orders. But I'm going to see if I can get through this. So obviously, here's the bracket order trial. I was talking about this last week. I was going to start working on the bracket order. It took me throughout the weekend. I didn't do a whole lot of work with it, though. It was Mother's Day weekend, so, you know, shout out to the mothers out there. And then when the day came in today, and a little bit yesterday evening, when we have a live chart, the futures start at 6 o'clock. You know, I could actually place orders and see what's happening. Even now, you see on ES here, there's not much happening. Even on the 2-tick time frame, 2-tick chart, 2-tick interval, there's not much going on. And so even if I want to show you kind of what's going on now, I'm not going to be able to show you much because there's not many orders in place. So, and I don't even know if NQ is moving a little bit more. Typically, I mean, you get more volatility. I don't know if you get more volatility. All right, so we'll just leave it here. Again, I won't be able to show you too much on this just because of that fact that there's not much going on. All right. It's being slow loading up ES while that loads up, though. Again, so today we're going to do bracket orders. But I'm just going to show you real quick random scripts here. We'll open up random scripts. What did I get in the Discord? Well, this is what I'm supposed to be using for the Discords, so I can send over alerts to the Discord. For a while there, I was working and I was doing a lot of changes and new scripts and that kind of thing. So I stopped having the alerts go there, just so that, because a lot of them were, you know, repetitive and extraneous, a lot of extra noise. So I just kind of stopped them all. But we got the 5-minute time frame here, the 1 minute daily, and then the 2-minute, 15-second up here. So let's just kind of look over and see what happened today in general, and then we'll do two things. We'll make two scripts. Okay, so on the 5-minute time frame, none of my alerts came up on the 5-minute time frame. What do I have on here? I've got this one. So I've only got three scripts on here anyway. So let's go to the 1 minute daily. I think there were a couple on here. The scalp short, this one worked. This one was no good. This one worked. That pull to bear, I don't love it, but it seemed to work today. All right, the scalp shorts, okay. All right, well, some of this stuff is working. All right, so scalp short here, scalp short. Again, you know, I don't know what your risk to reward is going to be, but I'm just trying to find appropriate areas, you know, as potential entries, right? So, and then it moved down. All right, good. And got a scalp short here, and this scalp short here looks like this is the only one that really didn't perform today. All right, so that's the 1 minute daily time frame, and then 2 minute time frame. That one had more opportunities. I believe it did. Okay, so from open. All right, scalp short here. This one, I don't know. I don't love this one. I think that this is probably a lot of upside there. I mean, but it would have been a short here. Okay, and then scalp short here. That one definitely short here right before the drop. That one was sweet. Okay, all right. That's all for the 2-minute time frame. I don't have anything for the 15-second time frame. I've just been looking at some potential strategies or making some potential indicators, and 15-second time frame, just because it's so volatile, and it's hard to make a good script. And this is actually the 5-second time frame anyway. So 5-second time frame. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and change it. 15-second time frame, 5 seconds. All right. And then let's go to ES chart that I kind of keep track of everything on. This is what records all of my daily data. So let's go to the 1-minute time frame and see what happened. All right, so this is the day. Let it drop, and then I don't know how many bars out my support is. Let's see. Let's open up support. Maybe 4 bars. Yep, I think 4 bars. Okay, so after we got down to this drop, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, and then this support text will show up to show that this is potential support. And what happened here? From there, it moved up. Okay, all right. And then when it came back down, it hesitated. This is the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I'm looking for this right here. I'm looking to see what happened with the bid and the ask, large order sizes, that kind of thing. So this is the inch bar max bid and ask. So for some reason, when price came to right here, all of a sudden we had a huge amount of interest on the upside of the market. And then what happened right there, right? What happened right there? It moved up. It wasn't strong enough to break whatever happened here though, because it just retested this area and then dropped back down. So, all right, what happened here? We got large bids. So on the bottom side, all right, so you see here this spike in the bids, a spike in the interest on the bottom side of the market happened here, and then what happened? It pushed it on down. Same thing, we got a little spike here, and then we got pushed down. So this indicator down here, I call it volatility index. This is something I came up with. You see how we have these really high numbers here. When the numbers are really high, we get both a red dot and a plus. Right? So we got the red dot and plus up here. What happened? It completely sank. Right? When we got the red dot and plus over here, what happened? It was the bottom of this move, and then it tried to move back up. So red dot here, and it dropped. So I'm still trying to figure out. I've been doing a lot of recording. I've been doing more recording with this information than I have actually analyzing it. So I've got to flip flop that. I've got to spend a little bit more time looking at this data to see where I can use it into my strategies. But for the meantime, we're going to leave that alone, and then we'll come back over here. We'll make a few scripts, and then I'll hop off. Okay, so looking at a potential strategy where, you know, when the average true range, sorry, I speak fast when I'm excited. All right, so the average true range, when it moves up, you know, X amount over so many bars, when it moves up X percent, then we say, oh yeah, well, that's a potential entry. You know, don't know if it's long or short, but here, from there to there, that would be a potential pullback. From here to there, that would be a potential pullback. But from here, from there to there, that's not really the pullback. I mean, it halted. It did halt, and maybe because that's the second attempt, but failed. It moved on down. I don't know. But let's do this. So let's say if we thought that was a potential strategy, we just come over here, we draw a line, and then we say that line is 21% increase. We come over here and we draw a line, and we say that's an 8% increase. Come over here, we draw a line, and we say that's a 7% increase. That line is 2 bars long. Okay, this line is 1 bar long. Yeah. Okay. All right. And so again, I've got hotkeys. You want to set up your hotkeys? You just go to the screen, right-click it, and then go to settings, hotkeys, and then from here you can change your hotkeys. All right. So once you click on something, it'll say press new hotkey, and then you can, you know, type Alt D, and it'll come up Alt D, and then you hit assign or remove, whatever, and then, you know, you want to save it and stuff. Nope. Okay. All right. So when we go back to the coding environment, we're going to look for the average true range that is, say, greater than 7% above what it was 2 bars ago. So we can do this multiple ways. Either with the indicator or with the show me. But like I described earlier for the show me, we'll use that. We'll call this ATR gap. Then out there, we'll say that value 1 equals, and yeah, rate expected. Very good. All right, so value 1. So value 1. Once you type it in, value 1. You see value 1, 2, 3, you know, all those values, I think up to 100 are already in the system, so you don't have to declare it. When you do need to declare something, you gotta say it as variable, colon, and then type what you want. Or you can short a variable, you can just do var. And you can say variable might be count, or variable will be x, or variable will be y, or variable will be z. But once you declare the variable, you need to put an initial value. So you might have integer or double. Integer is going to be, you know, whole numbers. Double is going to be numbers that have decimal places thereafter. You might have a string, which is in quotations because it's words, or you may have a boolean, which is a true/false, which you need to start off being true or false. Okay, so value 1 is already a variable, so you don't need to declare it up top. Declare it up top. All right, so value 1 is going to be equal to ATR, or average true range. And then with that, that'll show you what you need to put in there. Okay, so we're going to say 7 periods. And actually, over here, you see we use 14 periods. So we need to use 14 periods. I mean, just if we're going to be basing it off of that over there. All right, so that's going to be equal to value 1. So now we're going to say if value 1 is greater than value 1 of, and to find historical bars, meaning bars ago, you put a square brackets. Value 1 of, let's say 2 bars. So value 1 is greater than value 1 of 2 bars ago times, so we need to add what? Either 20%, or the other one was 8%, or the other one was 7%. So times 1.07. Then con 1 equals true, else condition 1, con 1 equals false. Okay, all right, so if con 1 equals true, then we're going to plot what? We're going to plot low, and you see when you type in plot, it'll tell you need to where are you going to plot it? What value? We want to plot it at the low of the bar. What's the name of the plot? What's the color of the plot? And then this is default. This is reserved for future use kind of thing. And then you can do the width if you want to. Okay. So we at least need the value. So if we put the value is going to be the low. We at least need the value. We can just put that. And then come over here, and you're going to add the chart to your screen. So you can go to. So you have so many hotkeys that I've kind of forgotten how to do some of the basic ones, but you should be able to right click studies, add study. As you see, mine is set as a hotkey, Control E. My add strategies is Control R. So you got to add study, and then you want to add this name, ATR gap. Show me, so you gotta click the right thing. If it's an indicator, it's gonna only show up under, only indicators are gonna show up. When you hit show me, only show me's are gonna show up. So ATR gap. Show me ATR gap. Okay, and then okay. So here are the red dots, right? Where there was a increase of the average true range of 14 periods greater than 7% above what it was 2 bars ago, right? So all these red dots. So you're like, huh, Eric, that looks like just a simple, easy way to catch a reversal. And I say, yeah, you might be right. Catch this, So I won't say what is or isn't a good strategy, because I spend hours and hours coming up with strategies, and if all of them were super simple, then everybody would be super rich or something. But so we put the low, right? But what if we want that color to be green, right? So and then second of all, we haven't even labeled it, right? So when we get over here, you see at the bottom of this pop-up, it says plot 1, 523325. Let's give it a name. We'll call it ATR rebound. Now we verified it again. Now when we go to it, you see it says ATR rebound. Right? So now we got something that we can we have, because if you have multiple things on your chart, and I don't name all my stuff just for the sake of time, because I make a lot of codes, right? This one doesn't have anything else on the top of the Let's see, Discord alerts. I mean, you see there's all those volumes, so those plots do have names, but if you have a lot of plots on your chart at one time, then you may get confused as to what's what. Especially if you have they come up on the same candle, or they are the same color or something, or they're the same circle, plus, dash, whatever. So let's go ahead and change this to green. Now we verify the screen. And then you remember there was default that showed up in the middle, which is reserved for future use. So put nothing there. And then if you want to, you can put the width. So we can make it small, make it 1, or we can, I think it goes up to 6. We make it huge. Yeah, I think it's 7. Yeah, see at 7 it cuts out. You got an error. Okay, so now we made it huge. Let's put it about 3. Okay, and so that's just a simple way to do a simple script. You can make that a little bit more unique by saying once you get the first one, you see here, this one wasn't valid, and then this one wasn't valid, and then this one wasn't valid, and then this one could have been valid. This one looked to be valid to me. This first one, I mean, it's close. It's not the best one, but it's close. Let's see. So then you look at the volume. You look at the volume here. You look at the volume. Well, this one doesn't need that. So let's do this. We'll say that also. Again, man, I kind of like programming, so I'll go down a rabbit hole. All right, so we're gonna do condition 2, false. I'm gonna say if ticks means volume is greater than ticks. No, tick is less than ticks embargo, then condition 2 equals true. Else condition 2 equals false. Make sure we have that 2 there. Verify it. Okay. Now I'm gonna say condition 1 equals true, and condition 2 equals true. Then, right. So now we got this one instead of these other ones. We got this one, which is better as far as fluency. We got this one. We did get this one, but yeah. You find some other reason to count that down. So now instead of getting these other 2 as well, we'll say that this script will not be valid again. We'll reset this script, and we won't let any other entry signal show up until we get a cross of the high below the 9-period. So the chart has to go up and above the 9-period moving average and come back down before we start checking the script again, before we start using it. So let's see, how can we say that? So what we can do, we need to do 2 things. So if these 2 things are true, then we're going to say CONM, condition met. We need to declare that. So once condition M is met, well, if we do that, we're going to lose this one. We'll keep this one, because once this is met, and this is where it would, where you need to have better programming, or just have some better ideas, because you got to figure out how to not have this one be your indication, this one to be your indication. Right? I can see one potential way. As you see here, there is a very small wick there. This has a little bit more of a wick. This has a little bit more of a wick. Even this has more of a wick. This definitely has more of a wick. So we need to add one more condition to it. Condition 3, false. We'll say if bottom wick is greater than 0.2, so 20%, 0.2 times the range, then condition 3 equals true, thus condition 3 equals false. All right, and then so if condition 1, 2, and condition 3 equals true. Now, when I did bottom wick there, this is one of the functions that I created myself. So open the function. This is something that I created. Me. All right. By Eric. Okay. Can I put that in there? Oh Lord. Once you mess this up, it's going to mess up every single script that you put it in. All right? Every single script. It'll shut them all down. Okay, so once you get your functions, you don't mess with your functions. All right, but so this is a function. So essentially, the name of the function is what has to be returned, right? So what I named the function is that bottom width is going to be equal to whatever you want it to be, and we'll have to go over functions. All right, but you can make those to shortcut for your scripts. All right, so you see there? Now that I redid it, now this one didn't show up anymore. Only this one showed up. This one showed up. This one showed up. I'm good with that. All right, and so now we want to we want this to if all the I tell you what, if all these things are true, then we're going to call con m false. We're going to condition met. We're going to call it false, which just means that it's been met. All right, so and then it's just easier to keep in mind when we come back. So if the high crosses under the 9-period moving average, then in the SA9 is the simple average. That's another function that I made. If the high crosses under the SA9, then condition M equals true. So that allows us to get condition M equal to true again. All right, so and condition M equals true. So again, if this crosses under here, now condition M equals true, then you can do whatever you want to do. But once you get this, now condition M equals false. And now you won't get any more entry signals again until it crosses under and condition M equals true again. Let's see if that works. Condition M, that. Okay, bingo. All right, so you see we got just these dots here. Boom, boom, boom. So this might be a good script in itself. I don't know. It worked right there. It gave you a little bit of a pullback right here. It worked right there. Oh, I just gave you a good script. Oh, okay. All right, and then the only other thing I do typically is like through here, these show up and you're like, well, I don't really want those. These are, and I mean, it showed up here too, but these are aftermarket, after hours. So this is between the hours of 4 and that. I call it after hours. For futures, not necessarily after hours. Futures stops trading between 5 and 6. But as far as the normal market hours, ends at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, picks back up at 9:30 in the morning. So I tend to say if it's Eric's market, and Eric's market is regular hours. Regular institutional trading hours. Okay, so it won't show up there anymore during the after hours and the midnight sessions, but it will show up here during the regular daytime. So I actually like that. I mean, this is for the 5-minute time frame. I'm gonna leave this on here. I'm gonna ATR gap. I'm gonna move this to my other chart, and because it looks pretty good to me. There you go. There's and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a, I don't give you all the disclaimers. So as the guy said on Reading Rainbow, don't take my word. Okay. So I'm gonna add that to this chart, and then you know what? I might not even do the orders position right now because this to me was good enough in itself. So I'm gonna take this a step further, and instead of just having this, I need to call it something. Call it pullback and bearish market, reversal. Look at that, the base of the closes. Something. There. Alright, so to take this a step further, I have to do using EL system. Dot drawing. Using EL system dot drawing objects. And then I have to make a text label null. Once we get started, or only one time do we need to say that TL is going to be a new text label. New text label. Okay, and then when all this is true, we're going to TL equals text label create. What is it going to be? Where is it going to be? It's going to be a bar number plus max bars back minus 1, and then this is a bar number point though. This is the type of point that it is. And then it's going to be at the low of that bar. And then what is it going to say? It's going to say pull back, I gotta figure out something else to call it because I'm trying to name them, but yeah, it's a pullback. But what kind of pullback? It's not really even a pullback. It's just because it's not a pullback to continue going short. It's like a reversal, but it's not a true market change reversal. It's a dip. It's what I tend to call, when I'm doing my own chart analysis, I have my own nomenclature and that kind of thing. It's a beta. It's just the bottom of a wave. It's just the bottom of a wave. So I'm gonna put beta, bearish beta, because it's a bearish chart, and it's the bottom. So that's what it's gonna be. That's what I said. Okay, and then so we're gonna do TL.lock because we don't want it to move. That's gonna be true. And we're gonna do drawing objects. Add TL. Have to add that to the chart, and then you see it comes up as beta. All right, but we don't need the dot anymore, so we'll just mute that out, or you can delete it. Okay. Wifey is giving me some feedback on the video, and she's right. I remember listening to it, and it was too loud. So turn that down some. Okay. Okay. All right. So we got this, and did that? Yeah. So B beta, and I don't want to change. I want to change the color of this. I think instead of it being blue, I think I want to be red, just to kind of remind me that it is a bearish trend, even though it's a it's a pullback. So in order to change the color of that, we're just going to go over here to TL.color, and then we'll do. I think we do color.red. Okay, and then it's red. All right. Yeah, so that's all we need to do with that, right? And then we can look back. Again, this is a 5-minute time frame. Just curious of where that shows up on other places. Look at that. That's great. Look at that. Yeah, because we're going long, right? So we're going long from here. So, yeah. Let's just go back randomly. Bam. Bam. one doesn't look as great because you would have got stopped out down there. However, it did then move up, you know, fairly aggressively. So, like I said, it may just be the indication of what to look for, but not when to get in, but that you need to be queuing up. All right, look at this one. This one was very, very bad, very bad. This one was okay. I mean, you got a little bit there, boom, boom, but this one was very bad. That one was good. This one was good. I think these look good. These look good to go along with. So maybe I'll add them to the Discord. But one thing that I do need to do just for myself is add an alert to it. So, right. So once this happens, especially if I'm not paying attention to the chart or I'm on another chart or something like that, I need to be sure that I get an alert. So I need to say alert. What do we call it? B beta. And then it will alert me. So what I can do, you can go over here onto your chart analysis screen, just right click it and then go to properties, and then you can define the defaults. Go to alerts, enable alert, not continuously, once per bar. Configure, we're gonna play a sound, do a pop-up, 15 seconds, and then email me, and then I'm gonna set that as if you click default here, it'll make it the default for all show me documents. Just keep that in mind. I'm not gonna do it for all default documents. We come over here, and then so for the 5-minute time frame, for the 5-minute time frame, we do want to go up here to edit studies, and then ATR gap. You see here it says alert no. All right, so we need to make sure that we have it turned on. So status, customize, alerts, enable alert, once per bar, custom settings. Now, if I'd have set this before I brought it onto the chart, then it would it should already be set. I shouldn't have to do it every time. Okay, all right, so that's good there. Let's see. I think I will just real quick try to go over the bracket orders. I'm just going to kind of do it in the background, and I'm not going to talk about it much today, just because I've been on here for 45 minutes already, running my mouth, and pretty soon, wife and daughter's going to get back, so I won't have any time to just kind of kick back, you know. All right, so let's see if we can get this done. And it took me Friday, all throughout the weekend, first part of the, last night or whatever, majority of the day to get through this. So it's not anything that's innate to me, like just working through some of the rest of these strategies and indicators. That's more innate because I've been doing it a lot. This right here, this is fresh, new for me, fresh off the presses. So I'm not going to be great at it, but I do want to just kind of work through it real quick. All right, so give me just a second. I'll be right back, and then I'll get cracking on this. I think a dog is getting into the trash can. Indeed he was. Indeed he was. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna put this on mute. I'm gonna put on some tunes here for a second, and then if you have any questions or anything like that, if you hop on here while I'm on, then by all means I'll get to it. Just put something in the chat. All right, so I can talk about this part real quick. So I just went over to the toolbox and pulled over the bracket order as well as the regular order, just a regular order ticket. And so this is how you would use the order tickets in order to automate your tradings from an indicator, right? We just made an indicator. You can automate those trades to take trades from that indicator as opposed to making a new strategy for it to do it. So what you would do here is once you have this bracket order pulled up, you can double click it, make sure that you have properties clicked over here. And so over here is where you have all your properties come up at. One thing I learned today is that if you go to view, you can go to designer generated code, and then there goes everything for the bracket order ticket. This is how it looks in code form, right? If you want to sit there and try to remember everything that's on the bracket order ticket, you know, all these things, right? So you probably don't want to have to remember that. You probably just want to go to properties, and it's already written out. All you have to do is fill it in. Okay, so for the symbol, we're just going to use symbol on the chart, whatever it is. If we're on ES or NQ, we want it to change. You do have to designate whether or not it's a stock or a, well, I imagine you can do this from the code, but you know, from the, is there something called symbol type? Maybe. I mean, that says symbol type, so symbol type. No. All right. But anyway, that's not something I need to worry about right now. However, as I do move forward, or you know, once I conquer futures and want to move over to stocks and that kind of thing, I don't want to have to redo all of my strategies just because I have to change the type. So security type. Okay, there's security type. All right. Symbol type. Help on symbol type, and then it'll pull up the help page, and then it should show you like an enumeration of the types. Let's see. It was security type, right? A symbol type here, security type. Type that. I guess we could do unknown, right? The futures are going to be 0. I guess we would do unknown, and that should allow us to do, you know, use it for all or for anything. I don't know. We'll try. Maybe I'll look at that tomorrow. But for now, we're just going to do futures because that's what it is. Account is going to be get account ID. That is just TradeStation's verbiage for getting the account. So we're going to buy, and then the bracket order type. I think this was limit, and this was stop market duration. When I was working this during the day, it was fine, but now I got to put good till canceled. Target type, primary ticket. And once I hit tab, this changed by itself. I guess it just tried to become the same as what was up here. Okay, so one, but we're not buying, we're selling. That's a limit, good to cancel. Okay. And then the secondary ticket. So this was the top ticket. And then we'll call this one the bottom ticket. Protection. Don't need to give it a name. Symbol, count. Buy. No, we're selling because we're going to buy with another ticket. And then stop market. Yep. That. Yep. Okay. That. I'm just going to verify that just so it saves, because it'll save and verify at the same time. If it doesn't verify though, it'll just save, right? So if I put some junk on here, it's saved, not verified, right? Okay, so the next one is the first ticket. So, and I know I've seen before people will call this BOT. it changes its name here, BOT. Instead of order ticket, instead of it being some long thing, just call it OT. Yep. Haven't found a good way to get through this these prompts yet, like, you know, tabbing or enter, or haven't found a good way to get through it yet. So this is going to be buy. This is going to be our initial way to get into the market, and we're going to enter with a market order. We're going to buy with a market order on the symbol. It's type future on this account, quantity of 1, and then this is just our regular order, so we don't need to do anything with any of this limit price or stop price. We don't have a limit price or stop price because we're using a market order. So if those things are true, and another thing that I found out when I was working with this is that you really need to use real-time data. If you don't use real-time data, it'll try to put orders in the market and bracket orders and everything from all the historical data. You don't really want that. So if get app info of AI real-time calc equals 1, then begin. That just says that you got live bars on the chart. Okay, so now if high crossover XA9, then con1 equals true, as con1 equals false. So if con1 equals true, then we're going to go ahead and buy this order ticket. I'm gonna call it BO, buy order. Okay. Now also I found, again, this is from hours of not being able to figure this stuff out, not being able to get things to execute properly. This is what I've had to do. So I will show you if con1 equals true, then we're going to send. So what will we do? BO is an order. BO is an order, right? This is the buying order ticket. BO dot send. We can just put that and then it'll send. All right. So now we come over here and then we add this to the chart. It's a strategy. So I got to do Control Alt R, and then it was this one. Okay, we're going to take this one off. Remove that one. Automate, yes. Automation, confirmation off. Okay, but unfortunately, there's nothing happening on the chart. So you're not going to see much of anything. You're not going to see much of anything just yet. But I will go ahead and try to make it through the rest of the script, and then that way, once things do happen, well, and you know, it's gonna get live around my house around 8 o'clock. So I don't know if I'm gonna still be on here, but it should also around 8 o'clock. I believe that the market picks up just a little bit, so maybe you'll get some more ticks. Yeah, this is crazy though. There's hardly, there's nothing. There's no volume. There's nothing moving. 743. Yeah, there's nothing happening. Let's change this. So this is only giving us 100 bars at this point. I just made it less bars so that there's less computations and calculations that have to go on. So we have less of this hourglass thing, but we have plenty of it now, apparently. Okay, all right, it's done. So still being a little slow though. You know what? For the meantime, I'm going to, I don't know if, I don't need this anymore. I don't need this chart anymore. So I'm going to remove this chart from the screen. It may be taking up some of the bandwidth. I tell you what is taking up a lot of the bandwidth though, is this, this OBS. It's OBS. When I changed it to a higher bit rate, higher quality, it's dragging on the system a little bit. So, but I do this for you guys. I do this for you. All right, so we can get rid of random scripts. That was good. That was a good, quick random script that seems to work. So that's crazy. Save changes, random scripts. Yes. Discord alerts. We'll leave that one open. Ooh, it already took a position. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so it took a position, right? So it took a position based on the criteria of the high crossing over the 9-period moving average. However, we don't have a bracket order because we didn't set the bracket orders up. So in order to set the bracket order up, which we did go ahead and define what's going on with the bracket order by clicking on BOT, bracket order ticket. Okay, and so the bracket order is going to be symbol, future, account. It's going to have the action of sale because we're already in a position. We need to sell. So limit, sell. We're going to have a limit at the top, stop market at the bottom. This is good till canceled. If you put day here, then it would not work right now. I don't think so. But GTC. All right, so get app info, then that. All right. Now, what I learned from, and I appreciate this guy. I mean, he doesn't know how much I appreciate him. I appreciate this guy, Mark Plex. Mark Plex. I went over to his those websites. He's got YouTube videos as well. He does tutorials. Obviously, he's some mastermind with programming with TradeStation, easy language. So anyway, I'm able to go over there and get bits and pieces from what I need. So also, you guys, if you get kind of caught up or something and you need more than what I can provide, and I can't provide very much, I know, but go over there to Mark Plex, his YouTube channel. He's got you can download the tutorials or copy and paste the scripts as well from his website. So there's that. He said you can go to the dictionary up here, dictionary, and then you want to type in order. You see I still have it up here, order, and then under tsdata.trading.order, tap that, and over here you can see, so like if you tap action, something different comes up. If you tap order, then you want to go over here to what was I at? State. I think it's state. State. Was it state? No, I'm on limit price style. State. That's just order state.field. Where was it at? Oh, updated. So I kept thinking that once you put in the order, once you did something with the order ticket, that order ticket needs to then update and send to the bracket order. But it doesn't seem to be that way. And maybe it is, and maybe this is just another way to do it. But like I said, I tried to figure out a lot. Everything I came up with didn't work. This does work, right? So when you go to update it, you click update it. Now you have an updated event. The updated event comes from the order though. Comes from the order, not an order ticket. So what if we looked up order ticket? Looked up order ticket, bracket order ticket. Okay, well there you go. So bracket order ticket, once you look it up, you come over here and you see that there is no action associated. This, you see this event? Event. There's no event. There's no lightning symbol. There's no event associated with the bracket order ticket. How about the regular order ticket? No event associated with that. So we couldn't get the regular order ticket to send anything to the bracket order ticket anyway, right? So, and this is my first time really using this dictionary, so I see how useful it is. All right, so tsdata.trading.order. Then we go down here. The order does have an updated. All right, and so then this is your, this is the syntax that you would use, and you would say my order.updated. So let's go. And I'm sure I could do this a different way, but let's copy and paste this, because once we get an order set up, let's go ahead and do it now. So we're gonna have something, we're gonna have an order, and you see when I type in order, you see that little white bubble it's giving me? That means that it's missing something. So we need to using ts data.trading. Okay, now when I come back down here to order, see it comes up order. Okay, and then I'm gonna call this OR. And so OR is, I think what we did earlier was if condition 1, then OR equals this. So I guess it sends it at the same time, calls it sends the original order, the buy order, and at the same time it calls the buy order, right? And so now we'll take order, if order is updated, or.updated. And you see here, now that we have order OR called an order, now order, right, come over here, order does have an events, right? So once we type in OR dots, we can do updated, we can find that event, okay? And now you're just gonna call that event to a method, and the method is going to be called my order updated. Okay, and so you just can copy this, which is the syntax that's necessary for your updated event. Right, so now you got a method void, we're going to call it my order updated. Right, that's the, you know what, we're going to call it BO updated, BO by order updated. We're going to call it what we want to call it, and then we're going to paste the this syntax over here, right? And then so then we begin. You put any variables that you want up here first. We don't need any for this. Then you begin, and then you end. But now, what are you beginning? So you want to take what is, you want to take the price of your order, your fill price of your order, and then add to that to get your bracket order prices, right? Because hopefully you know what price this is going to fill at. When this condition 1 is equal true, hopefully you know about what price is going to fill at. About is no good. About doesn't work in science and math. About needs to be precise. So how do we get precision? We need to find out what the actual average fill price is. So of that order dot, you see it there? You see it there? Average fill price. How did I do this earlier? Average average fill price. I think I can assign that to value 1. Maybe not. Okay, and then if I can, then I'm going to go and I'm going to say I need to find the limit price of the bracket order. So what was the bracket order? The bracket order is BOT dot, and then you got the limit price. Limit price is equal to the average fill price, which we've made value 1. So value 1 plus, we'll make it plus equal to 1. So that's 1 point. And then the BOT dot stop price, go down here, or protection price, I guess they call it. Protection stop price is going to be equal to value 1 minus 1. Okay. And now that you got your bracket order values updated, right? Now you got them updated. Now you need to send the order. So I think we just do BOT.send. Just like that. And I think that's it. So let's verify. All right, so we got some errors here. Let's see, strategy not verified, invalid method declaration. Oh yeah. Okay, so anytime you're using methods, and I'm not a pro at using them, I've found some great uses for them, and I wish I would use them more. But a method is like a program inside a program, and so instead of having to retype something over and over down here and over down here and over down here, you can use that method, and you just say, hey, run that. Hey, run that. And it'll just, you don't have to retype it. It'll just run it. Okay, so, but when you use a method, all methods have to come at the very top. And I guess just because they can be used over and over, the program has to not try to figure out where it is in the script, because the program runs from top to bottom. And now sometimes it gets called midway or called back. It gets called back, but it runs top to bottom. So it needs to not have to go back and forth as much, especially with these more intense programs within a program. So the methods need to be at the top. I mean, now they can be after your variables, and oftentimes they may need to if you have a variable with inside the method that the method is calling on that variable. But after the variables comes your methods, and then comes your body. All right, so let's verify that. So updated or.updated. I was just using that to show you what we're doing. And then remember, we changed this here. We changed this to BO updated. So this needs to be called BO updated. Okay. All right, I did something wrong here. OR is a easy language reserved word. It is, right? This and that, this or that, right? So OR won't work. So we'll just call it, I don't know, OR1. 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 And then we need to make sure OR1. Then we need to make sure. Okay, we didn't have OR1 over here. All right, so verify that. Okay, so everything is clear. Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, so now we already have a position on. Let's go and close that position. But we close that position. The strategy is still running. Well, it's not running. Let's turn it back on. Okay, now it's on. Let's go over here and look at the strategies. We need to make sure that it's automated. I agree. I don't want any confirmations. I just want you to run it. Enable order placement objects is on. So okay, close that. All right, so now should be good to go. However, we're in a position. I need to get out of that position so that the program can run and do its thing. Now, some of the times, depending on what you have set up, it'll say, oh, well, you already have a position. The strategy says you shouldn't have a position. So we're going to shut it down. See, that's what it did. We're going to shut it down until you get this figured out. However, it did put on my my exit and my take profit. So I'm going to close that. We're going to close that out. Now we just need to turn it back on. Okay, so it's on. Let's make sure that it's not going to be asking for confirmations. It is. Yeah, you have to kind of redo all this stuff. I mean, it makes sure that, yo, I'm telling you, once you start running these strategies, they just run. They run. So you got to be sure that you want it to do that. And they give you plenty of opportunity to turn around and say no. All right. All right, so it turned back off. So I got an error here. So object reference not set to an instance of an object, 758. So usually what that means is that you're asking for it to do something and it doesn't have the, it hasn't been called to the stage yet. All right, so order doesn't have to be called to the stage. high crosses over XA9, then condition 1 equals true, S equals false. If condition 1 equals true, then OR1 is equal to BO.send. OR1.updated plus minus BO.send. Value 1 UT.limit price 1 UT.send bracket order ticket. Condition 1, then OR1 equals BO.send. That's it. That's it. Remember, we are sending the buy order right here, and at the same time we're assigning it to OR1. But this happens almost in isolation of this. This only will happen once condition 1 equals true. Now, if condition 1 doesn't equal true, then we're not assigning BO to OR1. But if we don't assign BO to OR1 and we come down here and we ask for something about OR1, well, OR1 hasn't happened. So these things need to happen together. Or we can say if OR1 is not equal to null, so it means it is true, then we can do something with OR1. So now we'll verify that. Come back over here. I always like to clear this screen out because it looks crazy. And then we got to go back to the chart, and we probably got to turn it back on. Go to Edit Studies, Strategies, Properties Fall. Make sure ... order placements on. Okay, that's off. Okay, so the status, turn it back on. All right. All right, so it's 8 o'clock now, so we might be getting a few more ticks. And you can see how this will happen. Remember, once we get an order, we're supposed to get a stop above and a stop below. We're supposed to get a limit above and a stop below. What do we do? 1 point above, 1 point below, something like that. Okay, good. So there our order went in because our high moved over the 9-period moving average. And so our order went in. And after our order went in, then our bracket order went in. So we get the stop below and the limit above. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take for one of the two of these to be hit. But when it's hit, then you lose the other one, right? So when it's hit, so if the limit is hit, then this one disappears, and then it just kind of resets and gives you another opportunity to take another buy. So I'll let it run for a little bit. I'll probably maybe hop off the screen or something like that, just because it's going to take a while to do its thing. And then that is your basics for setting up your brackets. That's a lot, isn't it? That is a lot. But again, I mean, I'll spend hours sometimes coming up with good strategies. I mean, to spend 20 or 30 minutes making sure that the strategy can employ, and this is the basics of a strategy, right? So, I mean, you can have other criteria in there to where if there's a certain amount of time has elapsed, or the price has moved up a certain amount, maybe you want to change that stop. So keep the limit price the same, but if the price moves up a certain amount, or if you got a huge amount of volume come in, hey, go ahead and move that stop up, because I've got a feeling that either it's going to shoot up or it's going to drop down. So go ahead and move that stop up when you get a large amount of volume. So there's a lot of other ways that you can kind of manipulate your orders and the brackets that are already in there. But it's just going to be up to you and your creativity. Sky's the limit, you know? So I'm curious of which way this is going to go. I MES flag long is down there. Probably something I was working on. But around like this time of the day, this time of the night and stuff, I mean, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes. It's gonna drop. And I don't really care what it does. I mean, this is not a strategy that I'm looking to use to that I think is profitable. I just had to put something on there so that we could get frequent entries. So I'm close. I got a couple strategies that I think I want to employ on my live account. I'm close to employing them. Now that I have this entry and I have the bracket order, now I know that I know how to do that. I think that's it. I think I just have to add them to the current strategy that I have. Oh, I want to make a few more modifications. So like one of the modifications is going to be that if my P&L gets to a certain amount, or if my account equity gets to a certain amount, I don't want to trade anymore. So and that's easy because that's just a accounts provider object. Come on, smash the like button, subscribe, go to the Discord. Matter of fact, I'll add this strategy here to the Discord. And you know, again, it's a basic strategy, but then all you really have to do is modify what your conditions are. Let me see. All you have to do is modify what your conditions are, and then after you modify what your conditions are, then you want to modify how much, risk or reward, or how much reward or risk you want to put on. And once you got those things modified, then I mean you're good to go. I mean, you got an executable strategy that you can use to automate. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's a numbers game. So if your strategy is decent and it just kind of keeps running these iterations, then you'll be in the green. One of the things with day trading and technical analysis, discretionary trading, is that you have that fatigue, right? So even though you see your strategy setting up, you go ahead and you'll take it, and then you'll take it, and you'll take it, and then the next time, you may not take it, or something else came into the mix and you don't take it. It was a good trade, you didn't take it. But the script will take it every time, and so you don't have to worry about that fatigue setting in. So you put in all the effort up front, and you're able to reap the benefits on the backside. All right, but I'm gonna let this run a little bit. Obviously, it's running in a little bit of a channel, so one on the top and one on the bottom may not have been enough to get us in and out of some orders right away. But we'll let this run for a little bit, and then I will just kind of come back and see what it did, and I'll shut it down for the day. So one of the things I run along here is, and you see here, this is just this is my simulation account, but we'll let this run down here, and then you can see up here when the new orders come in. All right, so I'll get this set up, and then you can just watch and enjoy. All right, so it's still going. Um, I yeah, I'll come back and check on it in a minute. So yeah, 8:02 is when we put the first order in. All right. right, so 20 minutes later and still nothing. Still nothing. Still just got shy of this order here. The order still hasn't been taken out. Still going in that channel. And I'm actually curious. I'm gonna wait until this is done. But once this order has been filled and it gets into a new position, I'm going to see if I can drag this order, see if I can move this order. I think I can. I think I can. But I don't know if I can though. So let it run. Oh, we had some action. All right, so good deal. So once that order got filled here, then we got new orders, right? So now our average entry price is $245.75, and our stop below is $244.75, and our stop above is, it's just one, right? So it's $246.75. So it did work properly. It worked properly. Now I'm curious of whether or not I can drag this. And then you can see up here when you go to the order screen, you can see where it gets you in and out. So when we got in that last position at 802, I mean, it ran it all the way until 821. And then also at 821.15, we got into a new position. So we have, two new orders, or that bracket order, in place. All right, so I'm curious if I can drag and drop this. I can drag. Okay, so you can drag it. All right, cool. So that just means that when you're automating your trades, if you have a bracket order on or something like that, you can still come over here and you can drag it and drop it. You can manipulate your position on your own. So if the chart starts moving up really quickly, maybe you drag your stop up behind the current price so that you can minimize drawdown. Or you could just say, hey, I just want to move it all the way up right underneath, and there it got me out. But now, you know what? I think I invalidated the order because I brought the order within the bid and ask range. I invalidated the order, and so it just disappeared. It didn't fill me, it just disappeared. And I saw something similar one time because I think I made the bracket order so that it was pretty much one tick away. So instead of this number being 1 and 1, I think I made it 0.25 or something like that. And at the time there's a little bit of volatility, and so that 0.25 put the order within the market range, and you know that you have to be just outside the market range. So it it prevented me from having a position there. That's good to know, because you don't want to have a strategy set up so that, and I guess if you do it a market, fine, but you don't want to have a strategy set up for a limit order, and then you're within that market range, and then you actually can't get the order placed, especially if it's a protection type order, because now you see that protection is gone. And now what happens if the market just drops completely? Then you're just gonna lose all your money because you have no protection down here. So yeah, that's and also, and that's the whole reason why we are working on this bracket anyway, is because TradeStation, when you're trading on margin, they require that you do have a protective stop in place, no more than like 13 points or no more than a certain distance from your average fill price. So once what we did just there and our protective stop disappeared, once you don't have a protective stop anymore, TradeStation is going to say, hey, you don't have a protective stop. We're taking you out of your position. We're going to liquidate you. It's going to cost you $75. So, work on your strategies, work on your algorithms, make sure that they're kind of airtight as much as can be, because you don't want to have that situation. So one of the things I was working on was that if I'm in a position and I don't have a protective stop, then I need to exit immediately. So I'm still working on that piece of the puzzle. And once I get that figured out, then I'll feel more comfortable about automating my trades. All right, guys, I think that's it. All right, with that, I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.